Here we're going to work with pointers and with functions and passing them to functions and returning them from functions. Right, so here's the loop that outputs the content of an array. Right, the array is created up there, and we assign the pointer the array location. So I'm going to create a method now that's going to do this displaying for us. We're going to call it display array. It's going to take in as an input, right, an array we're going to call data here, and its size, as you have been doing with arrays up to this point. So this shouldn't be anything new to you at this point. Alright, add the method in there called display array. Again, take an integer data array, its inputs, and the size. Alright, so all we're going to do is take this loop, remove it from here, put it down into our procedure or method. Right. Instead of using values, it's going to use the parameter, which is data. Right. And we're going to add a call to it. Display array, and we're going to pass it the array first to show you that it works. The size is currently 5. Alright, and that should work and display the array. We did a quick compile here and get our output. And there's our output displaying the array. Right. Nothing unusual, same thing as if I left it in main. Right. But in reality, we are passing pointers around here because an array is a pointer. And to show you that again, I'm going to call that same method, but this time pass it a pointer. Right, values ptr that we declared here and set it equal to that array, not changing anything else. Everything looks right there. Let's compile that. We do have a compile error in here. What's it complaining about? Oh, too few arguments. Yes, can't pass it to 5, of course. Sorry about that. Alright. Now we compile it, and we'll see we get the identical output there. And there's our outputs. Right? It doesn't matter whether we pass it the pointer or we pass it the array, it's treated the exact same way. Right? Again, an array isn't a pointer, so I'm passing a pointer to this parameter, treating it as an array inside, even though it is a pointer. Alright. So, got the two calls using the two different things. Alright, so let's change it up a little bit more. Change this parameter to a pointer. Alright, again an array is being passed here, but an array is a pointer, and that is a pointer, so I really haven't changed much here. Alright, the pointer is being treated as an array inside the procedure, and we're still generating the two outputs that are identical with no issues. Alright, so I'm interchanging the arrays and the pointers. Alright, so right now I have a function that takes a pointer as input. I did it with an array, but the pointer is the new piece here. I can change this and use pointer notation in here, no problem, right? Works the same. Right? So the two, hopefully now you understand, are pretty much the same. So the only other thing to show you really is be able to return a pointer. So I'm returning here an integer pointer to a method that I'm going to call populate array. Right. It's not taking any parameters because I'm also going to show you the new operator and how to deal with that. Alright, so we'll add that method down here. It's returning an int pointer, populate array, no parameters. We could pass in the size of the array we want, but we're just going to go with this 5 so I don't have to change too much here. Alright. We're going to create a temporary variable, a pointer here. We'll call it temp, and we're going to return that temp eventually. Right? It's going to return an int pointer, so there's our int pointer. But we're going to use the new operator right here. New. Oops, got to do the assignment first. New integer array of 5 items. So it's going to allocate an array to hold 5 integer values and assign the address of where the first element is, element 0 is located, to that temp variable. Eventually we return it. If we just do it now, the array is empty. So let's initialize the array to some data here. Alright, so we can see the output, and we're going to initialize it to the exact same data we have up here. Alright, so temp at 0, and we'll treat it as an array there, and we'll assign it the value 12. Alright. Put a few more in there. Alright, so change our indexes to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Change our values. We had 12. Now we want 55, 32, 64, and 23. Alright, same values. Alright, populating the array. Alright, so let's get rid of the array that's up here. We're not going to use that, and we're no longer going to initialize the pointer to that. Alright, so we'll comment that out also. And let's get rid of this call. Alright, concentrating on the pointer now. So we want to set this values, PTR equal to the call to that method. It's going to give us a pointer. Alright. It's going to hold the data that we have in the array. So the output should be the same. We're only going to see one output. We're not using the array now. Alright. Now we did the new here. We don't want to do the delete in here inside this method because we'll lose all the data. You want to do the delete once you are done with the data in the array. Right, you're done with the array. You've got to put the square brackets so it knows that you are deleting an array and not just a single pointer integer value. Right, so this is the point where we know we're done with the array. We can delete it and free it up. And now if we do that, we can compile it and run it. We should see around 5 values there. And there are our values, just as we've been seeing them. Alright, so I used array notation in here. I could change it so that it's pointer notation. Alright, I'll just change one of them there. Compile it again quickly, and you'll see that still got 12 as that first output. And there is our output. Alright, so pointers as parameters, pointers as return values. This could return, a pointer, right? Any combination you can use them. It's not only limited to arrays, pointers, right? You're dealing with classes. You'll be able to allocate classes eventually and use pointers to control them, pass them around, and so forth. Once we start talking about classes, so class is an object. Arrays basically are an object also, so we can pass them around using the pointers.